Ben Affleck is hands down, unequivocally, the best actor to ever portray Batman. His portrayal of the Dark Knight in the new Batman vs Superman movie Dawn of Justice is the best portrayal of Batman we've seen to date. Now, to understand why, we have to get into the origin story of who Batman really is. So let's get into it. So the origin story of Batman begins like this. Bruce Wayne is walking home with his parents from a show. His mother and his father are walking along hand in hand and a robber comes up. Somehow, both of his parents end up getting killed. Bruce Wayne, a young adolescent, is the only one to survive the altercation. Now, imagine how that would affect a young kid. Most of us are crazy from the little incidences that happened on the playground when we were youngsters. His parents literally got shot and killed in front of him. That's why he became Batman. He went bat crazy. Most of us are bat crazy from the things that happened to us when the kids didn't want to be our friend. This little child, this little boy, has both of his parents killed in front of him. Imagine the turmoil, the hurt, the pain, the agony that you would feel if you had to endure such a painful incident. I mean, given the details of that story, any of us would become Batman. We would use our money to buy expensive gadgets, to live a lavish life and drown out pain with our drug of choice, be it alcohol, be it crack cocaine, or be it multiple sexual partners. We would all end up like Batman, trying to drown out the demons in our head. Now, this young boy goes on to become a man, a very wealthy, successful, handsome, fit, physically perfected man, and we'll get to that later. How would this man act? Any man watching this video with this new social age and social media and Instagram and all the attention that we crave, if any of the men watching this video went on to be billionaires after having their parents killed, we'd probably be billionaire playboys as well, driving around Lamborghinis and Bugattis, pulling up to red carpet events with multiple women on our side. Even how Christian Bale portrayed Batman in his movies, Batman is a very troubled man. He's a very hurt, confused, angry human being. When Clark Kent approaches Bruce Wayne at Lex Luthor's party, Bruce Wayne makes a comment about Wonder Woman as she walks away in a beautiful tight dress. You can hear the misogynistic and egotistical side of Batman as he apologizes for his habitual habits of dating pretty women. Again, this is reflective of the way he grew up, his mentality, his psychology, being rich, being frustrated, being angry, had no parents, was frustrated with life, but was handsome and had money to do whatever he wanted. And that is what I loved about Ben Affleck's portrayal of Batman. He was a billionaire playboy. He was angry. He was hurt. He wanted justice. He saw so much wrong with the world. Little gray hair. He'd been living for a while. He'd been doing it for almost 2 decades now. If you've seen the movie, you'll see Alfred reference that. He's been in the battlefield on the front lines for many years. He's tired. He's frustrated. Now, one thing I did see in the movie that I've never seen from Batman is Batman shooting people. Batman was popping folks, okay? I've never seen Batman be the one to want to kill people, but it didn't lose me. It was understandable. It was okay. Batman was bringing a gauntlet. Before Bruce Wayne becomes the ominous and powerful Dark Knight, he goes away for a number of years and trains with Ra's al Ghul in the infamous League of Shadows. He's basically a bat ninja, okay? When you really think about it, all the trainings that he's had, all the fighting intensity and skills that he's learned, and his ability to cloak through the night and the smoke and the gadget, he's a tech-savvy IT nerd ninja. Really, he is. The story of Batman is actually very dark when you think about it. I mean, wow, this kid, his parents are taken right before his eyes. How many of us would be haunted by a similar demon if our parents were killed, murdered right in front of us? Now imagine a young kid grows up finally and he goes on to inherit a couple billion. How would you act in that same situation? You'd probably be flying around in a Batmobile. Now, when it was announced that Ben Affleck would play Batman, a lot of people were disappointed. There was a big backlash. Some people weren't sure if he could portray the Dark Knight accurately. Me, on the other hand, I had no doubts. I was always in his corner. Every person that I spoke to who was not excited about Ben Affleck playing Batman had not seen the movie The Town. The Town was a movie where Ben Affleck plays a robber, where he robs different establishments. He was a dark character. He didn't have a good moral compass. He was a lot bigger. He put on a lot of weight. Most people remember him playing Daredevil, and that's a constant example that's brought up by everyone that I speak to who is not excited about him playing Batman. Batman. They imagined this movie Daredevil that was not brilliantly executed. But let's move on. In this movie, I was able to see him play someone a bit darker. He had put on a lot of weight. He was a lot more muscular. And this movie served as a psychological gap, a bridge in my mind where I could see him playing a character such as the Dark Knight. With The Town, I was able to see him in the light of the Dark Knight, or should I say, the Shadow. And that's a key point for me when it comes to movies about superheroes. In the comic books and cartoons, superheroes are really strong, exceptional beings. They have powers and abilities that regular mortal men do not have, and their bodies reflect their supernatural abilities. When it comes to a movie, when you're shooting 60 frames a second, it's all about picture, it's all about images. Hollywood is all about the camera and the lights. If you're trying to convince me of an idea, of a story, if you're trying to use CG and animation and graphics to try to portray to me that someone is powerful, you need to give me an actor that accurately represents that character. Their bodies, their physique, their image needs to accurately reflect that superhero. And no other actor has done that effectively as my man, Ben Affleck. All the other Batmans were not as strong, not as big, not as chiseled, not as lean, not as muscular as Affleck. You gotta give him credit. He put in time and effort to look the part. He looked great, he acted it great, and you can't deny it. That is what makes Batman so amazing. For all the fellow nerds out there, we all know the arguments between who's better, Batman or Superman, and why. For those who don't know, I'll articulate the argument of why Batman is so amazing and why he's arguably better than Superman. Everyone in the Justice League has powers. From Superman to Flash, Aquaman, Green Lantern, they all have this meta-human, altered, supernatural ability to do things that mortal men cannot do. Batman, however, has done nothing other than train very hard, relentlessly, use his mind to craft his body and chisel his physique into an entity, into a machine, into an organic automaton that can fight and run alongside the rest. What mortal man can run and stand next to Wonder Woman and hold his ground? He honed his skills and craft his body to be able to handle all the dangers and powers that the other superheroes have to endure. Keeping all of that in mind, consider, how would this man be? How would he look? How would he dress? How would he act? Boy, parents killed in front of him, inherits billions, becomes a freaking ninja. He would look like Ben Affleck, okay? He wouldn't look like George Clooney or Val Kilmer. He would be somebody who trained every day, who was frustrated and angry and pissed off and disappointed in the world. He would be someone that is almost at physical perfection, who's strong enough to run alongside Green Lantern. He would not look like Christian Bale. He would be a cock diesel, very strong, very lean, very tough human. I have never seen any actor portray Batman as effectively as Ben Affleck. So, Ben Affleck is the best Batman ever to hit the big screens. Why? He acted like Batman. He looked like Batman. And you know the age-old adage, if it looks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it must be Batman. Peace, love, and light. Beautiful day, beautiful day. What a beautiful day. Oh my goodness, the sun is shining on my